When we speak of Louis Vuitton, of course, we speak of luxury. And here, this is very rich, very beautiful tulle trim embroidered with gold threads. And speaking of the luxury, here there is a gorgeous, wait a second please, there is a very unusual journaling card, and you will understand why I am saying that it's unusual. Here to the right you can see very beautiful ribbons. This is silk, it's very soft. This is also silk velvet. Then this flower on the paper clip is a 19th century applique made of beads and small pearls. Very beautiful indeed, very special. Let's take it off. Now, the size of this journaling card is quite impressive. I will unfold it. It's difficult to see. But for you to give an idea, it's about 70 centimeters long. The lady's image here, it's Mademoiselle Jeanne Sabrier, and it is specified that her outfit is provided by Bourniche. It comes from this magazine Le Théâtre from the 1st November 1913. And behind, so yes, by the way, at the back you can see some advertisements of Mercedes, yes, I think. And here at the back you can see a huge blotting paper, and then the paper behind is decorated with a rose fussy cut. And you will see better like this. This paper comes from an enormous, very old French ledger, which I will show you in a moment. So here is this enormous ledger, and it comes from the middle of the 19th century. Just to show you, for example, here you can see the dates from 1850s. It would be fun to keep your your notes to do some journaling on a paper like that, won't it? I have stamped the page here with this gorgeous rose image. Here, sorry, there is another vintage, very delicate French lace, and behind I have put a chromolithographic trade card, a tiny one, with an advertisement of a department store Pont Neuf in Paris. You can see that it's gold background. And there is also a very rich, very beautiful French wine label. To the right, there is a pocket that I have made using some silk velvet. There is a very nice background from the gift wrapping paper. There is also an old postcard from the Paris Opera from 1904. At the back, there is a tuck spot, again with some silk velvet and vintage lace trim. It's a lace of Le Puy. There is also a very old portrait of this lady on a postcard. We do not have a date, but it's quite old. And the page to the right comes from this Paris guide by Michelin of 1947. I believe that the colors of this page from the guide book and the silk velvet, they really go very well together. Here at the back, I have inserted a small mini notebook. This image comes from the 1877 Paris guide. There is also a vintage glass button. You can tie this ribbon or just close it like this. There is also this vintage postcard. The next page, this one, comes from this ledger or diary. It's a bank diary, Agenda de la Banque of 1961. The page here is from the Paris map by Shell from 1965-1966. Some more paper napkin découpage. And this paper here comes from the 1904 diary of Maison du Petit Saint-Thomas department store. More fussy cutting. This background paper here comes from another gorgeous gift wrapping paper. It's not necessarily this collection, but it's this brand, Pepin Press. To the right, there is a postcard with some lace trim. It's a view of the Avenue Les Champs-Élysées, and the card is from 1930s. And speaking of Les Champs-Élysées, here there is a page dedicated to this avenue from the 1947 Paris guide. At the back, there is a tuck spot from an old fabric embroidered napkin with another French wine label. And at the back, I have used a piece from the upholstery velvet that of Amélie Prévot that we have used for the spine of this book. And behind there is a bare share of Colonial Trust of 1928. Here there is a small pocket. The paper here is an index of the Paris streets from the 1932 diary of Les Grands Magasins du Printemps. Behind there is a page from the one of the books of Pierre-Joseph Redouté, and a card with an advertisement of the department store au Musée de Cluny. Here there is another pocket, and inside I have put this page. It's very fine, very thin paper. It's a letter from 1892. It comes just a second. It comes from this book, Copie de lettres, which was kept. It's like a record-keeping book with copies of all the correspondence sent by, in this case, by a fabrics and silk merchant in Paris during the period from the end of the 19th century to early 20th century. This particular one is from, as I said, from 1892. Here I have put a page from the 1877 Paris guide of the Grand Hôtel. Here there is it's, I believe, Bulbani scrapbooking paper with a gorgeous lace trim of Le Puy. Another page from the 1904 diary of the Maison du Petit Saint-Thomas department store. And here you can see a very delicate, very beautiful embroidery on fine muslin, from which I made this pocket. Inside I have put this gorgeous portrait of a lady. It's an original photo by a photographer on Montmartre in Paris. There is also a French champagne label and some pages from the 1930s notebook that I have already shown you. At the back we have the continuation of this gorgeous embroidery as a pocket, and inside I have put a chromolithographic trade card. This small piece of paper is from another French tailor's ledger from 1880s with this gorgeous patina. There is also a page from the 1947 Paris guide. To the right there is a piece of the of an authentic shopping bag of Chanel. Its flower, this is its original flower that was on this bag. I have just added this roses image, and this blank card comes from an antique photo album. Here I have added a paper clip that I have made myself with an authentic pearl. It comes basically from this necklace. Behind there is the continuation of this shopping bag paper as a tuck spot with a very nice vintage silk velvet trim, plissé. Behind there is a page from the diary Grand Magasin du Louvre that we have seen already, and another letter from a copy of a letter from 1893. And of course we understand that even if it's a copy, this copy was written in 1893. Here we have another gift wrapping paper as a background. Here some rice paper, another lace veil, and yes, the paper behind here we can see. This paper comes from another ledger This is a household ledger of the early 20th century. Here I have folded these pages to make some tax pots, and I have embellished them with these gorgeous, delicate lace trims. I have put this roses postcard from written in 1934. There is also another French wine label. I have not aged it. It's natural color, its own age. Behind there is some decoration with the rice paper. There is a tax pot made of a vintage fabric, another chromolithographic trade card, a vintage embroidered card, at the back there is a tax pot like this, where I have put an invoice of the shop Grand Bazar de l'Hôtel de Ville Paris from 1907. As you have noticed, I really enjoy the tactile side of junk journals. That is why I put a lot of fabrics, laces, silk. Here there is a silk ribbon. In fact, it can also be used as a tax pot. Behind there is the continuation of the Chanel shopping bag that I have embellished with some raw edges piece of a vintage napkin with some vintage glass buttons. There is also a pocket which is empty now. Another rose of Pierre-Joseph Redouté. Behind there is some vintage English embroidery, and here, sorry, I have included a page from the Almanach Hachette from 1894 or 1895. And a page from the Maison Saint-Thomas on the society protocol, politeness formulas, etc. This image here that I have used for making this tax pot comes from this gorgeous book, Fleur du Roi. It's quite recent. It's from 2013, and it represents paintings, vellums from Versailles. It's like this book is paying tribute to all the gardeners of Versailles. Here there is a postcard with an image of the Eiffel Tower from 1940. Here there is a lace doily in the form of a flower as a tuck spot, and this is an authentic luggage tag from 1920s. I have decided not to decorate it and leave it just the way it is. To the right there is a photo of an theater actress, Madame Van de Rijn, from the magazine Le Théâtre that we have seen already from 1913. I have added this gorgeous embroidery en tuile from the 19th century. I believe it goes perfectly well with her style, her outfit. There is also a paper clip with this vintage pearl button, and behind I have included this page with addresses of of Paris restaurants from this telephone and addresses directory of France of 1947-1948. And behind there is this page, Le Café de la Régence, some other cafes in Paris. This page comes from this book, René Héron de Villefosse, Histoire et géographie gourmand de Paris, Gourmand History and Geography of Paris. This book is from 1956, I believe. I have also added this French wine label and another label of cognac. Where is the paper clip? This tuck spot is very unusual too. For making it, I have used a piece of a 19th century lamb leather glove. It is very soft, very pleasant to touch, and I have also decided not to cut off the edges, to leave them just the way they are, so that you would be able to touch and enjoy the softness of the back of this leather too. Here I have a piece of this very old glove to show you. I have added this old postcard from 1919. Here we have another page from the French wine merchant's leather from 1911-1917. a pocket with a lovely English embroidery. Here at the back there is another tuck spot made of this one is from the 19th century lace doily, and behind I have put this tag or journaling card. Honestly, I do not remember from where I have taken this image of Fontaine des Innocents from Paris. It's, I believe it's from the 1877 Paris guide. Some lace, some journaling space behind, a silk ribbon, and this is small embellishment of a bohemian fire polished glass bead. Here there is a page from the catalog Magasin et Cave Fauchon, foodstuffs and wines store in Paris. It was printed in 1986 for the 100th anniversary of this store. Here there is some more rice paper, a vintage postcard from 1944, another page from the 1949 Paris guide, a page from the opera Mireille. I do not have it at hand. It was printed in 1940s. There is another envelope from 1948, and this tab here is very special, very unusual. It's silk velvet, but it comes from a 19th century corset. This is its natural color. It's very, very old. And the paper itself is from a 19th century wallpaper, made in France, made in Paris. I have put silk velvet ribbon in the middle to embellish and to reinforce it. Here there is a part of some upholstery fabric with this beautiful rose that I find goes very well with this antique wallpaper. At the back, as you can see the oldness of the age of this wallpaper, especially at the back. I have added this gorgeous rose stamp, another page from the Opera Mireille, and a page from the Paris Book Guide, which I have embellished with this vintage upholstery trim. The page from the Fauchon catalog with a small vintage lace doily in black. And yes, here you can see the that very old leather glove from the 19th century that I have mentioned. I have had to repair it a little bit with some patches coming from the same glove. And these are its original buttons. They are in perfect condition. So I have decided to use this glove as a pocket. Here there is another letter from the fabrics merchant from 1892. More silk velvet, more lace de Calais. Here at the back, this page, in fact, it has a fabric background and 2 tack spots, like this, and it can be opened. It's quite large. Here you can see the beautiful handwriting from the French merchant's ledger from the early 20th century. Then there is plenty of journaling space, also at the back. Here there is another pocket with the lace of Le Puy. Here I have included this gorgeous blank bank check from 1930s. And we are approaching the end. Here there is this sweet, lovely image from the book Fleur du Roi that I have shown you, and that is it. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.